Disappointing. Trying to find the rebound here at ESL Challenger Valencia is up banana fast. Go FURIA.
Yeah, Art. Familiar, fast-paced play coming through from him. He's the IGL entry, rifler, second op. He's got so many roles that he fills, but this time he's just going to have a bullet full his dome as Slacks gets a couple, and then Longs gets dropped. That's going to make it a 5v2 as Yuri and Quesarato are going to try and come out here and do some more damage, but they got a flank coming in. Doesn't matter. Yuri gets two. Rawls and Spitty are going to go down, and that opens up this round completely. The thing is, still have to recover the bomb. Yuri has it. They can fall off this site because they know there's heavy presence here.
That they do. Molly available as well.
Sorry, I was going to say, there is a player on Banana, though, that will make life difficult for them if they choose to fall back. But Yuri keeps getting frags. There's a third.
They just want to fight the site at this point. There's only one man standing. Long's close. He's going to try and make a swing of this one, just holding on the angle. The flank likes to come on through. Longs for the first. Now cut down to one man. It's Quesarato up and over the top. He goes, but spotted on out and down below. Longs holds strong, nearly slipping away from them, but Sprout still able to take the pistol.
Yeah, that's a good job by Sprout to get things back under control, but what a round for Yuri. Almost pulls it back by his lonesome, getting two and then a third, attempting to take that B site, but at the end of the day, Longs has the answer to shut it down, but a round that could have been a big confidence builder for Sprout, you know, get that pistol round cleanly. Turns into anything but, so we'll see if FURIA will be able to come back off of that and maybe make some noise. It looks like they're going to force up here an AK, a Tech 9, 2 Deagles, and the CZ as Longs is waiting at the top of Banana to greet them with the A1S. Let's see if this AK can make some noise in Quesarato's hands.
Always a bit of a beast with the weapon available to him, but Sprout not giving anything away too early in this one. Two players holding towards top Banana, two over towards Bracket. All things considered, a little forward, but now they'll start to falling away, just trying to hold on to the angle, see if FURIA will give anything away. I believe initially I did say that FURIA started on the CT side. That was a lie. It is actually Sprout. So I think all things considered, a good side for them to start on. The stronger here on Inferno, a preference for them, especially starting with that pistol round off. If they can get an early op on out, start to shut down this economy, it could put them in a good order to chase down that upset.
I'm honestly surprised that FURIA left Inferno in. I mean, looking at the stats, it's actually their worst map of their entire pool, so it's perhaps an opening for Sprout to exploit.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way. Bit of a gap there for Stare, but no one on the FURIA side is looking to test on through that one, as FURIA will group over towards the B site yet again. Good bit of utility available for this one. 2 smokes, 3 in that matter, and a few flashes available for the fight on over, but Sprout a smoke of their own. They'll delay this push for the moment.
Here comes FURIA moving in. There's that smoke for the cross. They're going to charge forward. Stairs good for 1 and a second. Art and Quesarato fall. 5v3 just like that. Only the pistols left, and Longs is going to make work of them. Save just walks right past Newbox, and then Longs, while firing on drop, sees him fall to the Molotov thrown by Rawls. So, clean round there for Sprout, denying any attempt on that B site. Yeah,
very nice start out of Sprout. FURIA attempt to disrespect the smoke in that one, just wanted to flash on through, but Sprout had a player over towards the coffin. Anti-flash pops up at the right time and is able to shut down that initial entry. Honestly, very similar to what we saw in that initial pistol round.
There we go, FURIA with that force by coming through in that previous round. We'll be back to the pistols here. CZ. Couple of P250s and 2 Glocks. Rawls waiting here. Great flashbang thrown. Limited utility for FURIA. In fact, that was the only thing they had, but it doesn't matter. Spitty and Slacks take care of business. 4 frags combined, and only Quesarato left standing here with the lone Glock. Nothing else. Spitty ends his misery, and that'll make it 3-0.
Bye will now come on out for the side of FURIA, an opportunity to see what they can do with the guns. Sprout, though, will have good weaponry on their side as well. 4 rifles available in towards this one. Spitty with the MP9. I'm wondering if they want to make somewhat of an aggressive play off of that. Maybe put him close in towards Banana, push early, something along those lines. Try and get an early start on a bit of a lopsided buy.
Yeah, I think Sprout could definitely send Spitty down there. But we'll see. He is leading the charge here towards the back of Banana. And there's the utility up. Nope, he's going to fall back to the side. He's just going to hold with the MP9 close range from CT side here of the B site. Spitty Going to toss some utility of his own, maybe a flashbang. They're still going to toss their standard utility here, even though there isn't too much of a threat from Furia. Look at those nades fly forward. Safe is on the receiving end. Should say Quesadato's on the receiving end. He goes down to 37. Now they're engaging with him, and he does get the opening frag, but Slacks trades it out onto Art on the other side of the map. So we have a 4v4 here.
And that one was a little bit odd, just to spam through the smoke over towards Bracket. To even things out into this 4 versus 4. 2 players over towards A, 2 towards B from the CT side. An attempt forward of the flash of Rawls. It finds a connection, but not enough to find value for Slacks. Now just Rawls looking to anchor in towards his site. Has a smoke to play around, so a little bit of space to work off of here. But Furia just on the other side. The bomb is still late on this rotation and plenty of time, so Furia not in a rush. Yuri on the boost over. If Rawls overextends, his barrel could get spotted here, but Yuri falls off of the boost, and Long's now in a good position, takes down Yuri.
Yeah, I mean, Rawls managed to sneak through into Graveyard as well. They have no idea he's there, so Drop is between a rock and a hard place, but he still manages to take down Longs. Nice flick to the head with the AK, but Rawls is able to get one. As mentioned, his position unknown. Now it's known, though, and Safe will spray him down with the AK. 2v1, Spitty's way out of position here, but luckily for him, the bomb hasn't been planted yet, so that buys him a little bit of time to try and rejoin this battle here onto the A site. Now Safe finally tracks it down, but look where Spitty is. All that time burnt away, and Spitty's managed to come through here. Here's the bomb being planted. Gonna peek around, could get Drop here, but Drop's waiting.
They're patient on this one, holding the line is Drop, and he'll find the connection. Nice shot to close things out. First round in the favor of Furia, and that one started out rather awkward. Tough luck with losing a player through the spray on the smoke, but then kind of the bait for that Graveyard position, not netting enough value, and Spitty just too far on the rotation to be able to close that one on out. Good work by Furia.
Yeah, I mean, and that was a bonus round, of course, coming through from Sprout, so they're probably pretty happy with the result. Would have been better if it was a win, but they took down 3 players and make the economy a little bit precarious on the Furia side. Now they've got their op up and running once more in Slacks' hands. Interviewed earlier on, saying that he felt no pressure at all. Panel not believing him, but we'll see if he actually performs as a player who feels like he has no pressure. So far, so good.
Yeah, I might believe it if he keeps up this performance. 6-2 thus far. Doing well for himself. Doesn't look like a man getting crushed by the pressure, at least.
Yeah.
Smoking towards apartments. Drop was initially considering a play forward with that Mac 10. Furia is still set up for a pop towards this A site. Bomb is in position close, but we're waiting for the moment on the fade of that smoke. Keep your eye on Slacks. He is holding over towards Bracket. If he can find a early kill here, could split off the split that Fury's attempting to go for here.
Art lining up a Molotov, going to run through that, and that's going to land right in lane. So they're just trying to make sure that no one's playing at the balcony. It might have been a little bit off, but either way, it will do its job. Spitty looking around here. He's going to toss a flashbang on forward after that Molotov was thrown. But look at the space that Furia gained towards Arch. Slacks gets dinked through the smoke, and he will have to back off of this fight. Now the smokes come through, and Furia's got great positioning and control here, moving on to the A site. The thing is, they have 4 players to worry about, and they don't have any visibility on them yet. Yuri, though, manages to get one onto Slacks. Spitty's going to respond with 2 from Mini Pit. Looking for the third, is denied, but Rawls comes through with the trade, leaving Quesadato isolated here, and he completely he just tries to go and get that bomb. And he will get one.
Oh, but nothing more. Shut down immediately after. For Furia, I think they had the right idea. The 2 rotators were still stuck in towards Libra, and containment was that initial priority. Stop those players from rotating in and isolate the fight on the site. They were able to do so, but Spitty just stepping up with a massive multi-kill on the mini pit.
Yeah, I mean, great effort from Spitty here. The problem is, though, that he gets traded out afterwards, and then, well, at least for Furia, I should say for Sprout, they are able to come back here. So, 4-1. Furia calling a timeout, I believe, Mimi, to talk things over here.
You'd expect it. Bit of a rough start for them. The previous round, Spitty very much the MVP of that one, buying just enough time for that smoke to fade and find the support from the other side. Timeout will come to fruition, but Furia not too much to work with in way of the weaponry. Looking like just a full save in towards this round. Maybe getting a bomb plant down the hope.
Yeah, not going Furia's way at all. Again, Inferno is a little bit of a head scratcher for me. I want to get back to that. I was expecting Vertigo as Maui and the rest of the analysts were mentioning.
Yeah,
right?
and it was Furia, in fact, abandoned away.
Yeah, it was very surprising to me because you'd think they'd want to play it, and it's their best map. So, nope, not the case. Perhaps they felt like Sprout had a read on them on that map, so they decided to move away from it.
Still, for Sprout, they have been taking some big names here on Inferno and are looking to add FURIA to that list. Still early days, though, and it's the T side, of course, so plenty of time to rally back if it's to come to that. Quesorado just trying to get a jump peek over towards Banana, but Sprout giving some respect on this eco round, playing pretty far back on both these sites. So rotate, heading over towards B. That might just be the wrong call, as FURIA does look to finish over towards the A side. One player in mini pit, the other in pit. Good crossfire established.
Still a lot of time for FURIA to find their footing here. Molotov's going to get tossed on forward from Sprout after that smoke, so they just want to make sure that no one manages to sneak into the cubby. And you see Art wants to come around here. Spitty's going to get the opener, and Slacks fires away with the op, misses the shot now. A lot of pressure onto him, in fact, but he's got support in pit and mini pit, so he should be safe here. As Rawls peeks around, looking into lane. Yuri does get one for his squad. That might be all they find, though, as Rawls just racking up the frags. The 3K is there, and Art does manage to squeeze through one more, but Stare immediately trades him out, and that's going to make it 5-1 for Sprout.
Yeah, I really like the way that Sprout is playing. Slacks on this op. Early rotating practically all of these rounds. If contact is made over towards Banana, he's posting up back towards Coffin on that B site. In that previous round, contact was made for the players in towards pit. They find information when that motor smoke went down, and he's immediately posting up on the angle to make sure no one is getting past arches. He's been very effective on finding the right timing, shutting down some of these early plays out of FURIA. And a big part of that is Art has been being shut down on so many of these entries. I think 0-5 last I saw.
Yeah, Art isn't able to find that space, and that is a big factor for FURIA, as they talked about before, everything before the pre-match. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it changes here, and Art is able to get things going and get that FURIA machine running, because right now they are firing blanks.
That they are. Another buy will come through, though, for FURIA. Util is good. All the trimmings they would like in this round. Let's see what the call is. Slacks in this one. Not the rotate, playing a little bit more aggressively. He was waiting to see if a flash would come through. Nothing to meet him. Post on the line and will eventually fall on back as FURIA starts pressure towards the apartments. Spinning on this top angle. There's a flash available for this one. It looks like he wants to make a forward play in this. Only able to get one, though. Flash a little bit too late in that one. Drop actually heading things off now. For FURIA, they have the option to just go fast A. Off of that, only one player left on this site in Rawls, but FURIA doesn't commit to it. They'll slow things down for the moment.
Taking their time, our FURIA. 4v4. They want to try and gain the space. There it is. Art moves through. Out of boiler, tosses the Molotov for Art's side, and Sprout, of course, reading that, are going to keep 3 players up here. The thing is, it's quite a fake coming through here. Art is the only one left on this A site. Everyone else is going B, and Sprout are buying what he is selling. Art coming on through, looking for a target. If he gets a frag here, it is probably the round in favor of FURIA, but the frag does elude him. He's trying to slip away, and he does. Thing is, there's going to be presence now rotating the B site as Sprout realizes that that is where the hit is coming through. Great flashbang thrown by Stare for himself. Finds Yuri, and now he's looking for the follow-up as well. A smoke thrown by his teammate to give him a little bit of cover to boost over here around Coffins. Quesorado responds with one, but Stare is still good on this B site, holding down the fort, and then he gets himself a third, doing all the work as only Art is left standing.
Stare doing so well to hold the space, and now just Art remaining. Has an opportunity, but Stare for another. Rips straight to a 4K, a 6th round for Sprout. Shutting down FURIA at every venture. I mean, that round started so much better. They get the 1-for-1 in towards apartments. There was a single player over towards B, but they slow things down. They hesitate for a moment. And well, they had the right call, right read. It was a great fake.
Yeah.
It was just Stare to hold strong.
Yeah, and great support for Stare as well with the utility from his teammates, flashbang smokes, whatever it might be. He was there and taking advantage of every single bit that they were offering for him. Timeout going to be called by Sprout. Guess they want to talk things over after that round, maybe close a few gaps, but either way, FURIA also getting some time to discuss here. They're going to be on a half buy. It's going to be the Galil coming through, but a lot of question marks. There's no question. And Stare isn't typically the player that you'd see coming out with these types of performances. In fact, he's usually more of the entry fragger on the T side and a support player. But man, he has really come to play here today.
Yeah, everyone really stepping up for this Sprout camp.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Unilateral performance for them. And FURIA still struggling to get these openings. It seems in so many of these rounds they have the right ideas, but it's just coming down to work plays for Sprout, or at least the winning out in some of these earlier round situations. This one, little bit faster for the top banana control. Utility to reply, but Caserado just wanted to get posted up on top of the half wall. Spots the shoulder of Stair, but question is, will they want to commit to this? They still have a lurk over towards the apartments, and they lose out on Caserado. Great swing out of Long, so now the smoke down. Creates space, creates time for Sprout in this one.
Stair trying to pick up where he left off in that previous round as Caserado is going to go down. And Stair continues firing away. Slacks waiting here, arch side, hoping that a peek's going to come through. There's the smoke, but only a flashbang left. That's in Safe's hands. Are they going to use it here? Not quite. Spitty's going to get a frag onto Art. Rawls has a chance to do more damage, but he just settles for the info, then falls back towards Library. Manages to get one on the fadeaway. Second one doesn't come through. Great shot from Drop with the Deagle. That space opened up, but there's so many Sprout players here, and the hardware isn't there on the FURIA side, so Drop goes down, and it's only Yuri stranded and alone.
Yeah, and look at the discipline out of Sprout as well. They keep two players tucked deep on that A site in case it was just that distraction in towards spawn. They're ready for the other two rotators from B to pinch. They even contend with the lurk that was positioned over towards Banana. Very well set up round from Sprout. 7-1. Second timeout already being taken here by FURIA.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, FURIA has been taking time. That's their second time out in 3 rounds.
Yeah.
They really want to try.
And I mean, that was just off of Sprout having a timeout of their own, giving an opportunity for FURIA to chat.
Yeah, it's been technically 3 timeouts in a row. 1 from each, 2 from FURIA and 1 from Sprout. But yeah, I don't know. They really have to reset themselves and talk things over. I totally understand calling the timeouts, trying to reset the momentum and stop Sprout from really taking control of this match. But it feels like it's slowly slipping through the fingers of FURIA. Well, they're going to need more from their key players, and one that's been quiet here so far is Safe. We haven't really had a chance maybe to see his op too much because they haven't been able to get the rounds under their belt, but we need him to step up here in a big way.
Well, in this one, he does have that AWP in hand, and we'll be looking to find something off of it. The side of Sprout, again, going back towards 3-8, 2 towards Banana in this one. Safe wants an early shot in this, but again, not being given away. Very disciplined in the early round from Sprout.
Yeah, Safe going to take a shot after being blinded, hoping to connect on something, or perhaps predicting that Sprout would try and push off of that, but they don't. They just want to try and keep FURIA at bay, and they've done exactly that. FURIA giving up the space for now down Banana, but they are going to send Caserado back. He might eat some nades here. Not quite, no. He's not too worse for the wear. It's actually Drop who's taking some damage towards mid. And now Yuri's going to spam that smoke. Still no entry found, and there's Slacks with the op taken down. Drop, so again, FURIA, while trying to come up mid and take some space, they can't. That said, response on the other end. Caserado through the smoke finds Longs, makes it a 4v4, and with that, yeah, FURIA's hard rotating to be.
But Slacks is already on his way. Rotation is inbound. That op in hand, and he has util to support 2 flashes. Made his teammate over towards the coffin. Good flash. Caserado caught by it, and I believe a gap in the smoke as well. That could be exploited in this one. Spam attempting to come on through, and it'll be Slacks first with the connection. He'll regroup with his team, and while the plant has been conceded to FURIA, it's a man advantage to work on this retake.
FURIA finally finding a bomb plant here. The Sprout are going to try and work this man advantage. The problem is no one was really in position to come up Banana, so all of their forces are going to either come from CT or Coffins. Looks like they want to send 3 players out. Good flashbang thrown to open up the space. Safe and Caserado were blinded, but Caserado is good for 1 more. Then Safe peeks around, finds Rawls. That said, he burns alive in the Molotov. Time ticking away on the bomb. Can they hold on? That frag secures it. Caserado finding Stair. Finally, FURIA are back on the board here with a second round, and Art even adds salt to the wound by taking down Slacks. The thing is, both of them sacrificed their lives to get that final one, so no one walks out of that round.
Yeah, so close for FURIA, but all things considered, I thought initially that round was going to be Sprout. They opened things on up. A great shot out of Slacks. He gets another one off the gap through the smoke. I mean, those little mistakes being made by FURIA are exploited, but just a great hold in the post plant. Caserado stepping up big time in that round.
.145 on the clock here. FURIA trying to follow up that round victory with another one, but because they lost all 5 players, it's going to be a little tight in terms of money, and Art does get 1 to open up, but Lonks with the immediate trade. We'll see especially if FURIA continues pushing the B site off of that opening frag, and they absolutely do. They want to try and exploit the site once more as in the previous round, and it's all FURIA. They've gotten 3 frags, moving on forward. No one left on B, and Sprout might just call for the save already, as Slacks does not want to lose the big green. Their money is too low.
Yeah, no matter how many rounds Sprout was able to pick up in a row, their money was still vulnerable. FURIA was doing a good job to keep those players accountable, and not they will. Slacks just looking to hold a deep angle, find a punish on any of these exits, and bring that AWP in towards the next round. It's certainly been a big win condition for the side of Sprout in some of these openers. So a third round for FURIA, at very least, picked on up in this one, and the momentum slowly feeling like it is swinging in towards their favor here. As the money as well in quite a good position. These faster-paced rounds over towards Banana have been good. And now the question comes as to how Sprout is going to make a change around that. The Op and FAMAS saved up, but money beyond that still rather limited. Maybe try and make a hero play here, try and set Slacks up for something, maybe purchase some deagles around it, but still the option just to save on through. Try and build that money back on up to save the latter part of this half.
All right. So Slacks, as mentioned, does keep that op up and running, and Spitty with the FAMAS. But it's good from FURIA to see some signs of life after it was pretty much all Sprout in the opening moments. Slacks waiting here with the op towards Banana. Heavy presence from Sprout towards B, and can totally understand that given their limited buy-up and of course the fact that FURIA has been abusing them there. But FURIA making the right call. They're mixing it up. They send almost all the players, 4 players moving up mid, and all mid. Spitty could do some damage? No. That one rifle on the A site gets deleted immediately by Yuri, and we're going to see Rawls try and rotate around to support, but all he's got is a USP, and the op is all the way over towards the B site.
Yeah, unfortunately, really, if that Molly had not done so much damage onto Spitty, there's a chance he gets that kill onto Yuri. Maybe we're looking at a different round with the bomb dropped in towards apartments, but not to be in this one as Stair is taken down, and Safe Split should be able to come to fruition quite cleanly. Rawls went hunting for the weapon, but Yuri was holding for it. And now for Slacks, it just comes down to the game of holding the op.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Quesadato's waiting here to try and punish anyone who's saving because he has no reason to go and really support the
he hears
site.
that.
Yeah, I think so. So it's going to be a tough save for Sprout, assuming FURIA wants to chase aggressively. And given their money, they can send at least 2-3 players for this.
Especially with a player on the MP9, no reason not to. At least send Quesadато on the hunt. They're waiting for support, though. Utility to make this happen. Really committed to getting that op out of Slacks' hands.
And there go the 3 players, as mentioned, on the hunt. Quesadas is going to jump onto first orange. Here, actually, no, it's Art. He's boosting Art up, and Art gets taken down by the op of Slacks. Thought Lonks had that with the 5-7. Either way, Lonks will fall, and I think they'll fail in their mission to get this off because Slacks is hitting all the shots, and eventually they give up on the fight. So the big green saved on over, and that's really good for Sprout because it would have been an expensive reinvestment for them, and this is their full-on buy-it.
Yeah, money is back in the bank, and the weapons are as well. If Sprout, though, lose out on this round and FURIA are able to maintain momentum, claim the better part of this half, it could still be disastrous. It would be tough to squander such a strong early lead. And again, looking towards Slacks in these rounds. Trying to see if he can get something early in this one. This time, posted over towards the halls. Trying to see if he can get something towards apartments. It's a good call. FURIA have tested this space repeatedly, and this time, success. Drop down early.
A good shot from Slacks. Dare does come back and get Quesadato as well, and that makes it a 5v3 early on, so a good adjustment from Sprout. Slacks looking for another one here. He's fallen off his aggressive hold there of the apartments, and now he's just into the pit, and this is a smart play from him because Art was quickly coming to close the gap.
And Lonks is posted deep over towards Banana. He's gotten that deep smoke on down, is able to hold on towards his space, which means 3 players can stay posted on A. FURIA showing that that might just be their destination here if Art is able to get something open. Slacks, though, applying passive in towards the pit. Sprout not giving anything away in this one, and with limited utility, it's going to be tough for FURIA to fight on in. Still, 2 mollies. They could get rid of Slacks in towards the pit. Nord actually finds Rawls. A good entry to get things going. Now the op is spotted. Needs to be utility to flush him out. The molly raining in, but Slacks still finds a kill. He'll look for more in this one, but the flames do look away eventually. Spitty on the site needs something, in Yuri again. A second kill to open things up. Now the plant coming on through. Molly is well placed, but Safe gets away. So 2v2 in towards the post, and Safe takes another shot. Long's in close. He can get past the molly in this one. He can find the initial fight, and now 1 versus 1. Yuri is wounded, and his position is spotted. His smoke available. Just the op on the other side.
Man.
Long's playing the game. He goes up top and over. He will find it. Yuri down. A clutch for Lonks, and the 8th for Sprout.
Great work from Lonks, but I mean, the fact that FURIA even get into that round is all Yuri, right? He gets 2. He can't close it out at the end. He's left as a solo player, and just that smoke being in Lonks' hands available to him, it's the difference maker. Slack's great opener, of course, to help Sprout get off to that early advantage, but FURIA almost stole that one.
I mean, it was a
back.
2v5 that they almost brought back. That is wild that it had to come down to the clutch, but regardless, Sprout make it happen off of that. Take a timeout, slow things down for a moment, because despite winning that round, the money is still a little bit tight.
Yeah, timeout coming through here. Slacks taking control of top frag duties at this point, but it's good to see Yuri wake up, speaking of top fraggers, as he is the one over the last 3 months that holds that title. 362 frags to his name, 84.9 ADR, and 24 3-kill plus rounds, leading his team across the board in those statistics. So we'll see if Yuri continues to heat up as things go on here. They will definitely need him to do so if they hope to get back into this match. And talking things over are still both teams. I think this might actually be a technical pause coming through. I'm not entirely sure here, but we'll see.
Looking like it to the admins on the stage, trying to get things sorted on out. We'll give you folks an update on that as soon as possible. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing, all things considered, for FURIA. It gives them a moment to cool off, think through their options coming into the last few rounds of the half. The difference between going down 4-11 to rallying back, playing a couple more rounds in this half is massive. We know they're strong on that CT side. Still very much a doable game for them. While Strout has looked strong early, the experience for FURIA definitely still in a position to pull them through.
Yeah, and I mean, I can understand the hesitancy from a lot of people to think that Sprout might not necessarily be as strong coming into this one, given the fact that, you know, in Pro League Conference, they talked about it on the desk, Hummer defeating them 2-1, then For the Win doing the same thing to them. And even in ESL Challenger League Season 41, they lost to Movistar in the upper bracket quarterfinal, and then were eliminated in the lower bracket by Sauce. So the results haven't necessarily been there for Sprout, but I still think there's so much talent on this roster, and of course the experience of Spitty is incredible.
I mean, it just feels like an issue of inconsistency, and in this one it feels like an on day, but for Lonks, things not starting quite as strong. Caserado takes him down. A good entry to be found. FURIA plenty of time and a man advantage to play with now.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of rounds left to play, and FURIA could very much take control of this one again, and they're doing a great job in this round.
Yeah, nice shutdown there onto Slack. Spitty will be able to reply, but he's just getting overwhelmed in towards the site. Only Rawls left, and Molly will chip a little bit away. I think his position unknown for the moment, but he's not really in a position to contest this plant. Molly on one end, Smoke on the other. The man is trapped, and with Safe making his way in towards the site, this retake is looking undoable.
Yeah, they were already backing out of that before the bomb was even planted, and you can't really blame them given the space that FURIA had gained. And, well, that one time, the difference maker was Sprout got a little too over-aggressive, going down Banana, and Slacks couldn't hit his op shot in Apartment that he's been so consistent with. And as soon as that goes down, FURIA capitalize on their advantage and get that bomb plant on the A site. So it will be another round victory for FURIA, who are slowly but surely closing this gap.
Yeah, and they were struggling with a lot of the opening kills. I think back to like those first 7 or so rounds where it was Art getting shut down, Caserado getting shut down early so often by players like Slacks, players like Spitty, but now those tides have turned. FURIA have a good read on how Sprout is set up on this map, and they've done well to capitalize. 5th round picked on up, and again, just looking back at that shot, Yuri, great way to get things going for FURIA.
Yeah, Yuri definitely starting to deliver here as we head into round number 14. FURIA looking stronger and stronger by the round. Sprout will be able to invest into this round. They have some pistols, a Deagle, but a couple of USPSs around that, those two A1Ss. Stare. Just going to get boosted up here. Not a flower pots boost yet. They just want to have an angle around the corner here, looking into banana. And there will be a lot of utility committed here, as is typical for FURIA. Art going to be charging in, and they've already got that banana control, and Sprout, realizing that, decide to fall away from that previous setup, and they've gone for more of a crossfire here from Coffins and CT. Smoke's not really going to isolate that player. There's a gap in it. Stair gets one onto Art, and because of that gap, they have to be aware of the positioning or the fact that they're exposed from there, right? Yeah,
that is a tough one to lose out. One of the two hero rifles coming alight in this round. However, still 2 over towards A, and Spitty taken down. That was the anchor on the site. Now it falls to Slack. Steal in hand. If he can find one here, stagger this hit, it would be massive, but you're just not allowing that one to come on through. Stair is already low on HP. This round, looking all FURIA.
Yeah, and I don't think Sprout's going to want to overcommit the A1Ss either. And yeah, again, they're going to probably pull the plug before the bomb is even planted here, and it does happen. Typical Inferno style, right? Once you lose that A site, you say, yeah, we're just going to save. So that's exactly what Sprout goes for. And, well, FURIA wins there, I believe, 3rd in a row.
Yeah, the momentum is building for the side of FURIA. They will just hold back in this one. No one from the side of FURIA actually looking to go for that hunt on towards Sprout. So at least these weapons allowed to be saved in towards the next round. But for FURIA, surely turning things around in this one. I think they've had some really nice calls in towards the late round here consistently. Applying that pressure early towards Banana. Sprout has been conditioned to have to send a force, send a presence to be able to reply to that. But these kind of late round lurks over towards A. I think it's been 2 rounds now where they've kind of pushed a player up very late, found that last minute rotation, and just held in towards the post, forcing Sprout into those saves in so many rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see if FURIA can continue here and make this half as close as it can possibly get by finding a 7th here. And they've got the buy up to do it. Those 4 AKs coming through. Yuri just dropping it on the ground, but we'll be picking it up in just a moment as he runs forward. And there you have it. Sprout going to have the 3 A1Ss, the AK saved on forward from Stair, and Slacks with the op. They're going to try and get that 9th for themselves and end the round win streak on FURIA's side. And I think FURIA did a really good job using the timeouts to slow the pace of the game down and really collect their thoughts and get back into this one. The technical timeout helped them even more. But here is Slacks. There's that opening frag from him with the op that's been helping Sprout so many rounds.
Spitty in towards the graveyard. Tuck deep in this one. Slack's in a bit of trouble, but Spitty there for support. Takes down Yuri, drop for another. But still, this graveyard player entrenched fully. Safe will try and wrap back around towards the arches, but bomb is down back towards spawn. It's almost second lurk from Quesarado, working his way out from Banana. He's just taking this one dry and isn't able to fell Stair. So Safe now in a very tough position. Would have to wrap back through B, kill both players, run all the way to the bomb, run all the way back. This one looking nigh on impossible.
Yeah, Safe gonna come through, and he does fall. That will be the half, 9-6 in favor of Sprout. And Mimi, I think Sprout's surprising a lot of people with that performance in the first half.
Yeah, that they are. Really great way to get things started here on Inferno. But FURIA, they heated up in towards the latter part of that half, and we'll be looking to bounce back as we come back from the halftime break.
Doesn't matter. We seem too young to understand, and for the better. The weather changes when we dance. We belong together. Catching sunsets, riding waves. We stay forever. Where the rhythm never ends. 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 together. Catching sunsets, riding waves. We stay forever. Where the rhythm never ends. 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 Where the rhythm never ends.
All right, welcome back to ESL Challenger Valencia 2022 here, guys. And Sprout, in my opinion, impressing in that first half with 9 rounds picked up. The thing is, perhaps a bit of a damning stat for them as you look at the amount of rounds that FURIA has won on CT side of Inferno over the last 3 months, 65%. So technically, the 6 rounds that they won there goes to the standard that they usually perform here on Inferno.
All right, well, we're going fast in towards this one. See if that keeps up. FURIA again with a base down mid and already damage dealt. Sprout doing a good job to contain. Rawls will play deep in towards the spawn, flashes himself back in. And again, things get a little weird here. Art is in a position where he's pinched by 2, but the pivot good to take down Slacks. Trades back and forth. 3v2 is where we end, but Spitty close on the site, and Hilly is actually able to find drop. Now, the bomb plant a possibility here. His teammate actually rotating back in through mid, and Yuri was up top all along already. Diffuse being tapped in this one. Long very late, and Yuri able to shut things down. FURIA find a massive pistol round in the second half.
Good frag coming through from Spitty, though. He makes that bomb plant possible at the very least, but yeah, that was a very dominant start there in the pistol round by FURIA, and they do take the round. That said, with the bomb plant, Sprout could opt to force up with a pretty decent buy up here, or maybe save it all for the following round because they have the lead as of right now.
Not a terrible option either way. But in this one, couple gaps left, and Yuri the one to exploit it. You were saying during the break that you wanted to see one of these FURIA players find that pop-off, find that fire to pull him over the line. And Yuri, he was pretty solid in that first half, already stepping things up in towards the second. We'll see if that trend continues. And Sprout has elected to force back in towards this round, just holding for the moment for aggression.
Not only player, but I think as a unit, have that one shutdown round that really firmly cements things in their favor as the favored team, because, I mean, they're number 7 on HLTV. They are the top-ranked team coming in here to Challenger Valencia, so you kind of expect them to be the top dog and have some dominant performances. So I think by their standards, they're probably already disappointed in themselves coming through here.
Again, for me, it falls back to this map, right? Like in Inferno, not what we expected, not what the devs expected coming in towards this one. For FURIA, they had the opportunity to play some of their more favored ones, maybe trying to get the edge over Sprout, but it's clear that Sprout came prepared in towards this one.
Yeah, Desko was also mentioning that FURIA feels a lot more pressure on themselves than necessarily pressure coming through from other teams, right? It's just themselves expecting a lot. And Drop is going to be isolated here, and that Molotov stare catches him off because there was nowhere for Drop to go. I'm not even sure he had the smoke. Probably not, because he didn't throw it. So, yeah, 4v3 in favor of Sprout as they're going to work their advantage towards the B side. FURIA is, for whatever reason, kind of convinced that they're going to go back to A. It might not be a bad read at the end of the day, but looks like Sprout have decided to commit towards this B site. Rotation comes through for Yuri, who is completely flashed. Great flashes thrown here from Sprout to isolate that one player. They only have Safe to worry about, but they can't take him down. Safe take a shot to the dome, but it's through the wall, so it's not lethal. And then Yuri's able to spam through the smoke and fully blinded to take down Spitty. 2v2, still winnable and recoverable here for FURIA, and Yuri on the move in the air, connects in some shots, but Rawls will take him down. 2v1 as Quesarato is slowly but surely creeping his way onto this site. They have no idea he's here.
he doesn't actually go for a tap on the bomb, instead electing to wrap back through space that Sprout has already cleared. No, doubles back, second guesses it. M4 now recovered. Tap on towards the bomb, but the swing is immediate from Rawls. So well played out of Sprout. They group up together, re-wrap, play in a new position, and for the side of FURIA, just not ready for it. 10th round secured.
Yeah, what would have helped there for Quesadato would be a kit. He didn't have it, and that didn't give him the time to do the full wrap. You have the kit, you have the extra 5 seconds, you can go through construction and maybe try and find a flank, but instead he has to pick up a rifle and try to make something happen, and it just doesn't. So FURIA, after winning the pistol, fall in the follow-up round. Sprout has managed to get right back into it and find double digits.
Well, Sprout looking right bubbly in this one is just facing a bit of a anti-eco here. There is that scout invested for Yuri, and he's able to find a shot. Nice on Delonks there to open things on up. Still, risk affiliated when you're facing those resilient Eagles.
Nice nade toss there. Drop goes down to 17. So he's been completely pushed back of an aggressive peek. That said, it is just pistols on that side, so he might decide to just go for it anyway. Yuri has also been tagged down to 10, and he's the one carrying that scout. 18 kills for Yuri, so very top-heavy in terms of fragging here on the FURIA side. Everyone else is below a KDR of 1, which is a very troubling stat to see. Stair going to charge on forward here, likely going to clear first oranges. There it is. No! Drop hits the headshot with the deagle, and that could start something here for FURIA. He's trying to find a second one. Not much health left, as mentioned, for both Yuri and Drop, so it's still very precarious here in terms of the man advantage on FURIA's side. At the very least, they're denying the space here.
Sure, but Sprout, they still have plentiful utility. 2 smokes, a flash. So they have time to just pause, reset, and re-smoke in towards the late round. You'll see another smoke come in towards that CT spawn, another dropping back towards the site. Should soon have his vision blocked, and he attempts to get past it. Find another opportunity. Rawl shuts that down. Now odds evened, and Safe really has to be the man. He's tucked in the backside towards a new box. The deagle in hand, full HP behind him. A player approaching. That's the bomb. It's on the floor, but he can't get any more. The scout is all that's left. Time is of the essence. I'm not sure if this plan can even come through. It will be recovered. Has to be stuck now. Spitty taps it. He might have just lost the round off that. No swing coming on through. It's over. Spitty takes his gamble, and it's on the wrong chip.
Oh, man. I understand the idea, right? He figures that someone is coming around from coffins or is going to peek him, and he's very exposed on that plant at the B site. So he fakes it, hoping the peek comes through, but in that situation, sticking the plant would have been the better call. Oh boy, that's a tough one to swallow, especially considering they broke FURIA's momentum by picking up the force buy after the pistol round victory, but FURIA snatch it right back.
Here, but the force buy wars will continue. Both these teams buying back into things here.
It's just a war of attrition, you know, whichever team loses their force buy first, right?
Yeah, always a tough one here. Sprout gonna have to receive this aggression that Drop is already sending. I believe noise was made on that molly, but it doesn't matter. Drop's still able to find one. Longs is able to trade, so even in towards the 4 versus 4, and bottom banana control at the very least taken for Sprout. Still, there's 2 players there, an opportunity to flash in, aggress for more. It's the UMP now recovered on towards Art, but up over the top angle. Stare for 1. Art, he's known in this position, and Stare for a second on the take towards banana. Just Quesadato left, and somehow the UMP is sprayed down 2. A 2 versus 2 now. But look at the lurk over towards A.
Yeah, I mean, the lurk towards A could be very problematic for FURIA, potentially, but the thing is, Yuri is still over on that A site, so he can come in on a flank. That said, is Quesadato even going to expect this? I'm not sure, but I was going to say, you don't see 2 UMP frags come in a row very often at all, especially considering the UMP is so
You don't see 2 UMPs very often in the same round.
Frags, yeah, very true. But let's see if Sprout can pull this one back after having a clear advantage. Quesadato still waiting on this site. He is alone and isolated with a pincer coming forward. Should be an easy frag, and it is. Spitty going to get that. Yuri, realizing what's going on, is rotating around, but he's going to have to deal with the smoke very briefly. Before that fades away, he'll likely have to stare at construction, which would be the right play, but the timing not on his side. Did Spitty see him? I think so, and Rawls finishes him off after the smoke fades. So Sprout win their force buy. Back and forth here.
We go again. Does FURIA want to continue this war, though?
I don't know. I'd be surprised if they conceded, but money is very, very tight.
I mean, if you keep playing this game, you lose this upcoming round 12-8. You're on an eco again. It's such a big risk. I mean, it's FURIA we're talking about. It's not past them to make a play like that, but
It is much more justifiable on your T side to continue going for the force buy wars than
Sure.
CT side, because if you continue to go for it, your economy is going to crash. And I mean, it's already in a really
At
tough
some point,
spot.
you're just buying 3 umps every round.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't want to have to go for that. So they've backed off here. And they're going to call a timeout, our FURIA, to talk things over. But already, you know, Sprout fighting back. They're staying in this one. And this is what I was kind of talking about on break with you, is saying that Sprout never really felt like they were out of any of the rounds. Even when FURIA started to get their round win streak, it didn't feel convincing. And it still felt like Sprout would be able to fight back into any one of those.
Surely did. Now, just an anti-eco in this one. Well, I say that, but there is still some investment made by FURIA. They did actually elect to force buy into it, even if it is quite meager. Couple pistols, 1 MP9 to work with in this one. Heavy presence in towards the apartments, but Sprout, no one is there to receive. Spitty just played back, heard the noise, makes a comm to his teammates. That means the pressure over towards Banana should soon intensify.
Yeah, intensify it will as the nades are flying on forward for Sprout, but they just want to make a lot of noise here, probably realizing that FURIA are a little tight for cash. And by the way, just to mention, FURIA did go for the force buy here. They're going to try to get it until they are shut down. So
I mean, they're quite literally going for broke.
yeah.
Like, this is a gamble to be taking these rounds when the game is this late and when the rounds are this close. Safe flashed off the line already. The Deagle in towards the backlines. An opportunity to flash with a smoke, maybe fight here as well. Art boosted over with the CZ, but Stair just holding a passive angle. Here's the drop and takes the freebie.
Didn't want to concede the force buy wars. Will it cost them or not? Queserato gets one, but only one. Great trade coming through from Lonks, and that means that the heavy hitting guns are down for FURIA. They've got the 2 Deagles and the 5-7 left, but that 5-7 is going to get deleted as Speedy peeks out from apartments. Then Lonks takes care of Safe as Speedy does a double take, but it doesn't matter. Drop, the last one standing. 4v1 this round is all Sprouts.
Such a tough one to lose. We talked about the implications already, but Sprout just dismantle them. Patient, wait for the push-up. Coming from Banana, find the punish, and immediately re-wrap over towards A. A deep push in towards spawn. Sprout do a really great job at the push-pull on this round. Getting aggressive to just claim 1 pick and then completely falling back, shrinking the map, finding space over towards A. They'll keep 4 AKs alive, or excuse me, 3 AKs and 1 Galil, but regardless, plentiful rifles in towards the next. FURIA's money is not going to be looking good.
No, the last one is going to take time to pick up as well because of how back and forth this has been. So, questionable decision coming through from FURIA. Let's see if they can make up for it. Still very much in this map, and the extended bomb explosion radius not impacting Sprout there because they planted at the back of site, so they're able to save and pit. Alrighty, moving on. FURIA almost certainly going to be on a save here. The force buy wars have ended. Sprout have won them, and at least they're going to get a MP9 through into this round. But that'll be it. I mean, maybe some pistol upgrades outside of that. 3 players on the USP. The Deagle for Queserato. And indeed. A knife connects onto Slacks. He's down to 39.
Surely nothing happened. Nothing bad could happen because of that, right? Surely it'll be all good.
Hopefully it is just pistols on FURIA's side, right? Luckily for Sprout, but still, that's not something you want to have happen. Rawls does get the 2K onto Art and Safe, and it should be fine, right? Slacks probably took the flank instead. He's just playing more passively and letting his teammates take the entry so that that health disadvantage doesn't really have an impact on the flow of play.
Shouldn't be an issue whatsoever in this one. Yuri and Queserato left, and just a Deagle USP.
I don't know what it is about Inferno, Mimi, but it's very often I see it on T side too, that players are knifing each
I think
other
it's just
by
because the
accident.
doorway is so small to get on through. Like, everyone's just clamoring for 1 point of space. Everyone's trying to get into the concert, get the best seats.
It's so strange, yeah. Either way, just very fidgety, just pulling your knife out, trying to get into that round, find your timing, and then you connect on your teammate backs. And here, it obviously doesn't matter at all. Yuri's the last one standing, and all 5 players for Sprout will likely survive with Yuri only on the USB with no armor. And yeah, he's spotted out and dead to rights.
Honestly, if I'm weighing up the risk-reward, spamming your knife in spawn, risk, hurt a teammate, reward, get a little bit of mental stimulation, I'm taking that gamble.
Maybe.
Every time.
Waking your player, waking Slacks up. He didn't need to be woken up anyway. He's fragging pretty well.
Wide awake.
But now he's definitely ready to go. As we got a timeout, only 1 left. This is the 3rd one called by FURIA. I think it's obviously a good time to use it, given that things are starting to kind of slip out of your control, but still... as things go into the latter part of this map, I think that FURIA will have to save that timeout for the very, very end, should we get to that point even.
This is the round that really matters for FURIA. Weapons should be coming back in towards their bank. If they lose this one, the game might just slip out of their hands. They might be looking down towards OO Nation. Already a big comeback needed in this one. What do they have cooked up? I mean, even with the save, it's still a tough buy. 2 SMGs out, UMP MP9, no op yet. We know how strong that can be for FURIA's CT sides.
I mean, safe's been silenced. There's no question. 8 and 16, a very unorthodox scoreline for him. Slacks into the underpass there, looking for an opening frag towards mid, and Sprout slowing the pace down just a touch. Smoke going to come through from FURIA. Only Art here on this B site, so it is very vulnerable, but he will have support from drop should a hit come through. And even now, I think they want to maybe set up a flower pots boost. No, they just look at each other, and Art says, I got this. You can fall back drop, no worries. Go to the A site. That's where we're going to gamble.
And early indications show that that gamble might just be wrong. Already heavy banana control taken here by Sprout. The bomb is postured in that direction. 4 players ready, and you see that Smitty was in a position to lurk in this late round, maybe try and find a rotation. Sprout do look to prefer this B site. Still FURIA holding by their stack.
Yep. They've decided that should a hit come through, and it's not the right gamble, it'll probably just end up being a save. And Art, yeah, it's going towards B. He's so isolated. His position is not good either, and Sprout are good with these flashes onto him. Stare going to spam the flower pots boost, and he actually takes quite a bit of damage and will go down to save, so reinforcements are here, and the opening frag surprisingly goes to FURIA, and they get the second, despite the advantage that Sprout have on the take on this site. So with that found, FURIA are sending the troops in.
Still, there's very little utility left for FURIA. 1 flash, that's all they have to work with, but same can be said of Sprout. This round has to come down to Slacks. Holding space over towards the banana. He'll get nothing. Great flash out of safety, comes online with a kill of his own, and it is a flawless retake out of FURIA. What a fumble. Sprout had their opportunity, tried to fight on in, but they just lose 2 players through the smoke and allow time for those rotates to come on through. That's tragic.
It's wild and indeed tragic, because Sprout full control in every way onto that B site and lost 2 players after smoking everything exactly as it should. It wasn't like there was a gap. They just got caught off by the spam of Safe, who did call out and said he wasn't necessarily contributing with the op, and that time it's with the rifle. So he's going to try and wake himself up in some way, and that is such a pivotal point for FURIA to get that 9th round and stop the momentum from Sprout. That said, still plenty of cash on Sprout's side. Even to lose this one, they'll still have enough money to get a buy-up. This time, though, it's going to feature 4 AKs and that op, and on the FURIA side, 3 AK upgrades carried over from that previous round that should help them significantly on the defensive end here.
Yeah, the war chest looking good for the side of FURIA. Or does he actually want to go for a peek in this one? Has a flash, take the fight on his own, but doesn't come into it just yet. Now we'll swing forward, fine stare, perfectly timed, but again, the trade is there, and utility to keep FURIA at bay. It evens to 4 versus 4, but the damage certainly done onto Sprout.
Oh, indeed. My goodness. I mean, Rawls and Slacks quite lit up. Rawls in particular, only 10 HP left, so that makes them a little more hesitant to go to this B site, especially considering that they invested so heavily into that utility tossed on over that FURIA have sent the reinforcements there. They are split up, and there are some openings here towards the A site for Sprout to work with, but should they even get onto that site, they still have to be worried about the lack of HP on a couple of their players. It'll make it a lot tougher to take control here. Their shots need to be perfect.
Towards A, Sprout do go. A site that has been relatively untested thus far on their T side, far favoring those B finishes. Utility will rain on in. The players tanker. Quesarado and Yuri, they have been the standouts in a rough map thus far for FURIA. Yuri in the pit will try and get something done. Flash is already raining on in. Sprout is out on the site. Yuri needs something now. Flicks around. Finds one that's rolls down, but the trades are perfect. Quesarado falls with nothing. Slacks is there with the AWP, and now a 3v2 for the post plant.
I mean, you could not have asked for a better outcome there, honestly, if you're Sprout. I mean, you lose 1 in a 4v3 that, in terms of HP, heavily favored FURIA.
FURIA's not even going to go for it?
No, they can't. I mean, they don't have the utility. They have a Molotov and a smoke, but you need a flash, need something more to gain that space, especially in a man disadvantage on Inferno towards that A site.
Yeah, and I believe that damage even unconfirmed that they did get in towards some of these players.
Right.
So, like, if you had a nade, you knew the damage, maybe you can go for it, but nothing lining up for FURIA. The 14th will be conceded here. Sprout just 2 steps away.
It feels like every time we feel like FURIA is getting into this one and they're starting to assert their dominance, Sprout comes back immediately and has an answer. So very impressive stuff done from them so far. 14-9. They are 2 rounds away from what would be, I would say, the biggest upset that we would even see, because Sprout wasn't expected to come out and be a contender here against FURIA.
But I remind you that Des was painting this matchup as the most one-sided of the groups that we were expecting. And I agreed with them coming on into this one. This should have been FURIA across the board, but Sprout, despite their inconsistencies, despite their failures at EPL Conference, they have come back, and this is just one of those moments where the best version of Sprout is showing up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they've always been comfortable on this map, albeit the competition hasn't been necessarily as high as I mentioned earlier. 9 of 10 going their way up until this point. So over the last 3 months, I can't get over it, Mimi. Honestly, I can't get over that FURIA didn't ban Inferno. They could have played well on pretty much any other map, and instead they come here on one that they've had some vulnerabilities on. Anyway, look, still not over. Sprout have quite an advantage both in terms of rounds and economy, and they're going to come out with another full-on buy-up here, no questions asked. FURIA on the other end does have enough to invest into this round. 2 AKs still in hand from that save, and 2 A1Ss, and the op-up. Save's going to get burned down to 45. He tried to go for that early peak, but the utility was so good from Sprout that he couldn't gain any visibility.
I don't think he even got a shot off whatsoever.
No.
Had no opportunity, but there's one given away. Drop holds the angle. Stair was attempted to be flashed on in to take a fight top banana, but that is information. At least 2 players spotted. I'm not sure if they saw the third, but either way, it will be a commitment back over towards a double setup here. Very boosted up top, trying to hold this line. He's been spotted, forced to fall away still. The HP low and utility available. Yuri needs to take this fight now. Long's just looking to go straight through this smoke drop, spots him out. The realization is good and the awareness even better is Keserato. Now in trouble, burning in the backside, but safe for support. And now it's just Rawls left alive. 1 versus 3. He's able to take down at least one, but the setup is strong. Keserato holding in the backlines, rotations underway. This man is pinched. This round should not be winnable.
Still a flicker of hope in the eyes of Rawls here. I don't think they're fully aware of his position in pit here. He can isolate the 1v1s. He has a chance. He's peeking around, looking for drop. That's the right jump, but not the shot for Rawls. Drop ends him. That will mean double digits for FURIA, and a great response from them to hit that 10th round victory. The thing is it too little too late? Can they finally string 2 together is another question, because that hasn't been happening here at all for them here on their CT side.
It has been one-offs repeatedly, and I mean, in this round, maybe just a little bit of a miscommunication. It peaks slightly before that flash is actually able to connect on towards anyone's stair. Dies with no one in position to trade him on out. And, well, the call was correct from Sprout. It's a great hold on the side out of FURIA. And now their money in a bit of a more stable situation. Off forward, they're making this push down mid, trying to find the fight. Drop takes one. Long stays there for the trade and spitting another. This is completely malfunctioned for FURIA.
I mean, Safe misses
Yuri
a
is
couple
still
there.
here.
I thought he would be able to get something. He is still there, and he does get one, but Longs finds the trade. Again, the health isn't good here for Sprout, but the positioning from Spitty is incredible. He catches Safe trying to be aggressive on that peak with the op, even with the disadvantage, and it doesn't work at all. Again, it looks like Sprout are going to be able to reset FURIA and isolate them to only 1 round victory here, but Keserato, position unknown, and of course Sprout still have to regroup and actually go for their proper execute. Once Spitty clears out this A site, that's where the plant is going to come, and I mean, at that point it could be the round.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that op is still on the floor outside of apartments. That was in the hands of Safe, but Keserato probably preferring just to keep the kit. They went in towards the next round.
Yeah, I don't think he'll risk it, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
He's just going to keep the rifle. He's got to keep what he has, and I mean, it already looks like he's just going to settle for whatever the result may be if they don't come to the B site. And yeah, he has no intention of trying for this, as he shouldn't have against 3 players on Sprout. But the thing is, Sprout onto match point.
Yeah, another attempt at the aggression from FURIA and a complete shutdown out of Sprout. So much credit to them in being able to find the adaptation in the mid-round to be able to contend with that play. Early on, it was just their same default play, heavy utility towards Banana. They hear instantly that that push is coming, and in a big part, It was Spidey finding that space, pushing forward, holding close, takes down a player, and then finds the timing to kill safe outside the apartments. That opens up the A site and essentially wins the round out from Sprout. I mean, that's even talking with the great timing that Yuri found. He found a gap in the play, was stuck deep in towards mid, but only got one. The trades are excellent out of Sprout.
And also Safe missed a couple of shots there. I think there was a jumping player he couldn't connect on, and before that missed his other shots. So that was problematic. Yuri tried to make up for it, but only gets one, like you mentioned. So yeah, FURIA need to win 5 in a row just to push this one to overtime. And Sprout, they've used their last timeout. Timeouts on both sides have been used quite effectively, but I don't know if Sprout necessarily needs to call it here. Maybe they just want to calm things down and say, look, we are on the precipice of potentially upsetting FURIA. Let's make sure that we don't make any mistakes here and give them a window of opportunity.
I think that can happen sometimes when these kind of teams, especially teams that kind of have like a general younger makeup. Obviously, there are quite a few experienced players here on Sprout, but you still have a couple 17-year-olds, 19-year-old players, and just calm down for a moment. You have your moment, you have your opportunity. Compose yourself for these last few rounds, close things out. Don't get excited too early. Don't let this one slip away.
No, you're absolutely right, especially Stare along with Long, 17-year-old young guns around a veteran core of Spitty, 26, and Ral's the same. As Ral's has been at the Tier 2 scene of Europe for quite some time.
Yeah, he's been grinding it out.
Yeah, very established, so it would be great for him to find some success, of course, in this core. Alrighty, heading into round number 26 could be the final round of play.
FURIA, maybe just looking at a match up against their Brazilian brethren down in that lower bracket. If they're unable to close this one on out, Sprout in a good position to do so. Yuri playing just outside of Boiler, and Long's on the other side. He'll swing forward. What a shot to connect on towards Yuri. Man advantage early. Safe is still here. He'll try and trade this one out, and successful in doing so, but still pressure from other sides, and rolls as Zaire trades back. Now just 3 left alive from FURIA. They're desperately trying to make this rotation over towards A, but it's just too late. We'll have to come to the retake, and look what's available. A Deagle, a UMP, this one looking tough.
Sprout not afraid to bring the fight to FURIA at any point in this match. They weren't intimidated at all, and it's shown in such a big way. And look at this, only 2 pieces of utility left for FURIA to work with on this retake, and Stare finds Art.
I mean, what a game out of Stare, 20 and 13.
Yep.
This young man looking to close
21.
things on out, drop the final player standing. So little HP, and it's Stare again to close. Sprout complete the upset. They're heading in towards that upper bracket. They've taken down the tournament favorites.
I guess they had a right not to feel nervous, right? Yeah. they were ready to go. And like I was alluding to towards the end, it just felt like their confidence was never shaken at all. They'd lose around to FURIA, even if it was a couple of convincing ones from FURIA on their CT side. Immediately afterwards, they're like, no, we're going to shut you guys down. Aggressive play in the faces of FURIA. Never